Women Reservation Bill will be put to vote after 4 p.m. Home Minister is expected to speak. Rahul Gandhi is expected to speak. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has already spoken on this issue. There's a debate. There's a rich conversation that is taking place in Lok Sabha. But there was a late night development also. Government notified the 2023 Act. They delinked it from census. In a way, they have buffered the previous bill in case if the government loses it, the previous bill does not become infructuous. So that was a late night development. But on all this, I'm joined by Charu Pragya, spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party. Thank you so much, Charu, for joining me.
Thank you.
My question to you is, when we were hearing Shashi Tharoor, he made one point. Shashi was saying that, what about Rajya Sabha representation? That has not been elucidated. Can you put some light on it? Is there a clarity? What happens to the House of the States?
So, there are two things that Shashi ji and the rest of the opposition have been stressing on. One point they raised repeatedly is that why not immediately, why not on 543 seats itself, and they have been saying this again and again. And the second thing that Shashi ji added right now is he said why not a proportionate increase in the Rajya Sabha. I'll try and cover both the points. About the 543 seats, see, the attention government is giving is to the point that nobody should be inconvenienced or be at a disadvantage. This includes all the men who are already in the Lok Sabha. This includes the southern states, which have always been worried that because their population has gone down, their proportionate representation in parliament is going to decrease. And it also means that we have to keep a lookout for the smaller regional political parties. There are 17 parties in India currently with just 1 seat each. 17 parties, and they have representation. What is going to happen to them if this reservation comes in immediately? There are 8 political parties with only 2 seats. So if we keep everything in mind, and we keep in mind the fact that currently our Lok Sabha has been made, the new chamber of the Lok Sabha in the new parliament building has been made with the increased seats, I think it is high time that we did the increase at 33% and then make sure these 33% seats are filled with women. It's a win-win. Whichever way you look at it, it's a win-win. And I'll also do a small comparison with China, please. India's population is 140 crore. No country in the world can compete with India when it comes to population and managing this population except for China. We have 543 MPs for this population. Do you know how many MPs China has?
How many?
Close to 3,000. So the exact number is 2,977 members of parliament for their population, which is pretty much similar to ours. So why is it that India should not increase its lower house in parliament, make sure there is better administration, our people have better access to their leaders, leaders understand their public better, because the constituency a size of 20 lakh people on an average is frankly far too massive to manage, and then they are able to talk about the needs of their people in parliament in a better way. And as for what Shashi ji said about Rajya Sabha, obviously that's going to happen, sir, because this bill is also going to make changes of 33% increase in the Vidhan Sabhas in all the assemblies, but that's the job of the delimitation commission. The number of MPs who come to Rajya Sabha are measured by the number of MLAs and MLCs in the country. That is going to still continue.
A lot of people outside parliament, parliamentarians have their party position, parliamentarians have their, ideologies. A lot of people outside are asking, one, why has it been linked with delimitation? And secondly, just implemented the previous bill, because that was a bill that was, that was cleared by both houses of the parliament. So can you shed some light on that?
So the previous bill, that is why I explained this 543 ratio and increasing it to 850, and I think that is very critical at a point like this when women are entering the decision-making table's room, because up till now there has been a barrier, frankly, and I'm going to say this rising above party lines. There was a reservation at the panchayat level in our country from the 90s. Today we have 14 lakh plus women in leadership roles at the local level. But if that was enough, tell me, why is it that still in our Vidhan Sabhas the percentage of women is limited to 9? Why is it that still in our parliament the percentage of women is not even 14%? It's far too low. That means that we have to do more than just pass reservation. We have to make sure there is capacity building. We also have to make sure that all the people who are mostly men, who are making decisions, are given a space where they don't feel threatened. And I'm going to say this, I'm saying this openly. there would be a situation where maybe some of them feel threatened, and that's why tickets were not given out. You look at the numbers of tickets that were given to women even in the last Lok Sabha elections and across parties. I'm saying this in a blanket way across parties. So for that, this number has to increase, and the people of India understand this better than the politicians do, because their job is to only create scenarios out of thin air to blockade the bill. And the second thing is, when you talk about implementing it and not linking it to delimitation, who's going to decide what are the constituencies? Who's going to decide where do the boundaries come? That is where the Delimitation Commission is going to come in. So naturally it has to be linked to that, because the territory of India doesn't change. No, the redividing of the constituencies is going to change. So it naturally has to be linked.
A lot of southern states have this fear, Charu, that they have done well in the fertility index, they have done well in the developmental index, but then and that's the dilemma, because they will get lesser numbers, and states that have not done well will get more numbers, and the fact is that the delimitation is done in context of the number a seat has, and you know how many people should be attending to those numbers. You know, that's the dilemma, because for a better governance, you know, fewer numbers and one person, you know, that's the relationship. One MP cannot be catering to 5 crore people or 3 crore people. You know, that rationalization. Why do you think that there's a lack of consensus on these issues? Because both are important.
I believe that this fear of the opposition, especially those who come from the southern states, has been clearly put to rest yesterday by both our Honorable Prime Minister, who promised that nobody will be at a disadvantage, and especially not the southern states, and then later by our Honorable Home Minister, who actually gave us simple math to understand. Let me take the example of Kerala. Kerala has 20 seats currently. With the formula of 50%, 10 more seats will be added. Kerala is going to have 30 seats, and this proportion is continued across the country. So proportionately, no state is going to lose out. In fact, even currently, if you're going to look at the logic of population versus MPs, already Bihar and Uttar Pradesh are at a disadvantage if you divide the population by the number of MPs, and that is a fact. See, there are only two ways this number of seats can go up. Either it is done by population, which is going to put the southern states at a disadvantage, or it is done in this percentage way, and this percentage way is a stroke of brilliance. It's already been said this is the method being used. So now when the southern states are protesting, I think it is just being done to make a show, make a mountain out of not even a molehill, because this fear does not exist. It's been put to rest by, like I said, both the Honorable PM and the HM.
Charu, you know, everyone knows that the parliament is ultimately it boils down to numbers, whether it's division or consensus. It boils down to numbers. Now, I think 23 or 25 is a margin you have in Rajya Sabha, workable. But 73 is the margin you have in Lok Sabha. A lot of people are saying that if there is lack of consensus, why did government push through it? Is it about the fact that the government is more interested in creating an agenda right now before the most important assembly elections of 2027, which includes Uttar Pradesh, and creating a national constituency of women, something which Nitish Babu did 20 years ago, which cuts across caste, class and religion. So my question is predicated on the fact that every political move has an agenda, and there is no pun intended. So if you didn't have the numbers, why did you push for it?
Honestly, in my opinion, we had the numbers. We should have had the numbers, because this bill was passed in 2023.
Correct.
And it was passed with everybody agreeing and everybody pressing the yay button. There were zero nays except for AIMM. So today, the fact that all these political parties can pull back, I still don't want to accept, because that would mean that they are anti-women reservation. Frankly, that's the only thing, and I hope better sense prevails and they end up voting in favor of the bill. The second thing is, linking it to elections is entirely unfair, because some people have been saying it is to do with West Bengal. You mentioned Uttar Pradesh right now. If it had to do anything with elections, wouldn't this have happened before the voting started for these Vidhan Sabha elections? That didn't happen. Half the votings already happened, the other half remains. So that is not connected. And then had we done it last year, honestly, wouldn't you have said that very important Bihar elections are happening, so let's do it now? We'll do it this year. You're going to link it to West Bengal. Next year you're going to talk about Uttar Pradesh. तो चुनाव का तो कोई लेना देना हो ही नहीं सकता.
कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे.
बिल्कुल. और ये वही सिचुएशन है.
I admit that. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे. लेकिन my question is that the absence of number should have led to some sort of a pre-parliamentary consultative mechanism whereby, government would have got the assurance that, these are the people who are on board.
Let me be the optimistic
Okay.
person and still say this. When all these people, nearly the same number of people, have voted in favor of the bill a little while back, why is it that they're doing a U-turn today? Was that for show? And today, if they really stand with women empowerment, why are they not going ahead with it? Why are they coming up with weird roadblocks, and frankly weird roadblocks? They're again talking about quota within quota. Yesterday we heard Akhilesh Yadav mention Muslim women. What part of our constitution mandates a reservation on the basis of religion?
Okay.
Please tell me that.
Okay, let's just dip into Lok Sabha. Let's just dip into Lok Sabha right now for 2 minutes. Just let's dip into Lok Sabha.
क्रांति जो सामाजिक क्रांति लाने वाला कदम है, उसका समर्थन कभी कांग्रेस पार्टी नहीं करेगी, यह उनकी मंशा स्पष्ट करती है। उन्होंने एक बात और कहा, उन्होंने कहा कि सर्वदलीय बैठक नहीं बुलाई गई। अखबारों में खबर छपती रही, अखबारों में खबर सुनते रहे और एक बैक सदन के में बिल लेके आ गए। अर्जुन मेघवाल जी, किरण रिजिजू जी चले गए, माननीय संसदीय कार्य मंत्री, माननीय अर्जुन मेघवाल जी यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, संसदीय कार्य मंत्री वो भी हैं। वो बताएं कि सर्वदलीय बैठक बुलाई गई थी कि नहीं। सर्वदलीय बैठक बुलाई गई थी और कांग्रेस पार्टी का प्रतिनिधि उस बैठक में शामिल नहीं हुआ, बैठक में शामिल नहीं हुआ। बार बार आग्रह करने के बावजूद आपकी मंशा तो पहले से स्पष्ट थी। आपकी मंशा तो दिख रही थी कि आप कौन सा काम करना चाहते हैं। आप कोई भी सामाजिक क्रांति के कदम को समर्थन नहीं कर सकते हैं। हाँ, ये अलग बात है, मैं पहले भी कहा हूं, आज भी कह रहा हूं कि मोदी जी का चेहरा आपको पसंद नहीं आता है। अरे भाई, अगर मोदी जी का चेहरा आपको पसंद नहीं आता है और इस देश की जनता को पसंद आ रहा है, तो आपको क्या दिक्कत है? देश की जनता के साथ जुड़ जाइए और मोदी जी के चेहरा को न चाहते हुए भी कहिए कि वाह बहुत अच्छा है। तो ये काम तो करिए। उन्होंने क्या कहा? उन्होंने यह भी कहा कि यह संविधान संशोधन अगर पास होगा तो लोकतंत्र समाप्त हो जाएगा। क्या लोकतंत्र की परिभाषा बता रही हैं? अगर 50% आबादी संसद में बैठेगी तो लोकतंत्र कहां से समाप्त हो जाएगा? अरे लोकतंत्र समाप्त करने का प्रयास तो कांग्रेस पार्टी ने एक बार किया था, जो इस देश की जनता ने कांग्रेस पार्टी को उखाड़ के फेंक देने का काम किया, कांग्रेस पार्टी को नस्ताबूद कर देने का काम किया। इस देश के लोकतंत्र की जड़ इतनी मजबूत है कि कोई चाह के भी इस देश के लोकतंत्र को समाप्त नहीं कर सकता है। इस गलतफहमी में नहीं दीजिए। तो सभी उनके जो तर्क थे, कल मैंने सुना बहुत विस्तार से उनका भाषण, थोड़ी मीठी आवाज में बोलती हैं। अभी नहीं हुआ है खत्म मैडम, इतना जल्दी मुड़ी मत हिलाइए, अभी समाप्त बचा हुआ है बहुत कुछ। तो इसलिए कोई तथ्य नहीं है। अब कल प्रधानमंत्री जी का भाषण सुने, आप लोगों ने भी सुना होगा। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने आपको सचेत किया है कि अगर आपने इसका विरोध किया तो वर्षों तक इसका खामियाजा आपको भुगतना पड़ेगा। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने आपको सचेत किया है, लेकिन फिर भी आप सचेत नहीं हो रहे हैं तो अलग बात है। मैं उनको एक उदाहरण देके बताना चाहता हूं। पंचायतों में 33% का आरक्षण लागू था। 2005 में बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी बने और 2006 में उन्होंने कहा कि 33% हम नहीं मानते हैं। हम इस देश में महिलाओं की आबादी और इस राज्य में महिलाओं की आबादी 50% है। हम 50% पंचायती राज व्यवस्था में नगर निकाय में आरक्षण देंगे। और सिर्फ उन्होंने पंचायतों में और नगर निकाय में आरक्षण नहीं दिया, मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी ने एकल पद जो प्रमुख का पद होता है, जिला परिषद के अध्यक्ष का पद होता है, सरपंच का पद होता है, उस पर भी आरक्षण उन्होंने दिया। लालू प्रसाद जी उसमें विरोध में थे। एनडीए की सरकार थी, लालू प्रसाद जी ने उस नीतीश जी के फॉर्मूले का विरोध किया और आज तक उनको खामियाजा भुगतना पड़ रहा है। आज तक बिहार की जन एनडीए, मैंने देखा है बिहार के एनडीए के साथ वहां की महिलाएं 100% खड़ी होती हैं। आप इस बार के चुनाव का वोट निकाल के देख लीजिए। अखिलेश जी, हम आपको कहेंगे, मेरे मित्र हैं, उनसे सचेत रहिए, उनके चक्कर में मत पड़िए, उनके चक्कर में मत पड़िए, उनके चक्कर में पड़ के वो गायब हो चुके हैं। इस बार के विधानसभा के चुनाव का आप रिजल्ट देखिए। 84 ऐसी सीट है जिसमें पुरुषों से 10% ज्यादा महिलाओं का वोट गिरा है और एनडीए के पक्ष में गिरा है। ऐसा क्यों अन्याय कर रही हैं आप मैडम? अन्याय मत करिए, आप ऐसा अन्याय मत करिए। मेघवाल जी कह रहे हैं कि कुछ उनकी पार्टी का टाइम दे दीजिए इधर। बोलिए मेघवाल जी। अब 2023 से मातृत्व शक्ति इंतजार कर रही। 2023 में जब नारी शक्ति वंदन अधिनियम आया, उस समय से इस देश की मातृत्व शक्ति इंतजार कर रही है कि मुझको कब मौका मिलेगा। और जब प्रधानमंत्री जी ने आज उनको मौका दिया तो आप विरोध में खड़े हो गए। अरे ऐसा क्या है? और आज जो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने इस सदन में जो बिल लाया है उनके नेतृत्व की सरकार ने, वो उसी भावना को जो मातृत्व शक्ति 2023 से इंतजार कर रही है, उसकी उस भावना के अनुरूप, उसकी भावना को संतुष्ट करने के लिए उन्होंने इस संविधान संशोधन विधेयक को लाया है इस सदन में। और इसलिए हम विपक्ष से अपील करेंगे, हठ धर्मिता छोड़ दीजिए, हठ धर्मी मत बनिए, रास्ता मत खोजिए, इधर उधर बाएं दाएं जाने का रास्ता मत खोजिए। अगर आपने विरोध किया तो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो कहा है सच कहा है। अगले 20-25 वर्षों तक आपको उसका खामियाजा भुगतना पड़ेगा, जैसे लालू प्रसाद जी 2005 से 2026 तक खामियाजा भुगत रहे हैं। और आप क्या बात करिए, कल प्रियंका जी बोल रही थी, आपने क्यों नहीं पास कराया? अरे प्रियंका जी, अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी की सरकार ने इस सदन में 4 बार यह प्रयास किया कि महिला आरक्षण विधेयक पारित हो। आप विपक्ष में थे, आपने समर्थन नहीं किया और उसके कारण यह बिल पास नहीं हो पाया। तो इसलिए हम आपसे अपील करेंगे कि आप इस चक्कर में मत पड़िए। अखिलेश जी हमारे मित्र हैं, इस चक्कर में मत पड़िए, उनसे झटका मारिए। और अगर उनके साथ सटे रहिएगा तो बिहार में इनका क्या हाल हुआ है मालूम है ना? 27 से 19 से 6, और उस 6 में भी 3 गो बाहर निकल गया है, अभी 3 गो बचे हैं। तो इसलिए इनका हसरोई होने वाला है। तो इसलिए
So Lalan Singh doing his best, witty, informative. Charu continues to be with me in the studio. Charu, yesterday when the debate was being opened, the entire issue of OBC reservation and religious lines came.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
So on religious lines, we are very clear. The Constitution mandates that there can be no religious reservation in any manner whatsoever. And today, if Akhilesh Yadav is talking about Muslim women, tell me tomorrow, wouldn't someone say the same about Sikh women or Jain women or Parsi women or Christian women? And why shouldn't they? So if Muslim women are going to be singled out like this, then all the other women are also equally important because they also come from minority communities and religions. So I think this is ridiculous and it shouldn't have been said in Parliament. It was entirely unconstitutional. And as for OBC and all the other things that the opposition talks about, right now, look at the constitution of our parliament. Yes, there is reservation for SC and STs. Is there reservation for OBCs? There isn't. When we talk about bringing in women, why are you adding more and more angles, layers, complications just to refrain from make this bill being passed? That is only the only thing that is happening, and it's frankly sad, because if you did not need a reservation of OBCs for the men who are in parliament on all the general seats, why are you adding it for women? And I think these layers are complicating
done to complicate the issue?
It's only being done to complicate and delay the issue. I urge them all, please come together and vote. Let women come to parliament. Please see the changes that women bring when women lead. And it's not just for women. India is going to prosper. India is going to rise. All our data points are going to change with more and more women in a legislative role.
But Charu, aren't you afraid as a member of Bharatiya Janata Party that, you know, this whole issue is also creating a north-south divide, and thank God there is no northeast-North India divide as of now, because their numbers are also at stake, and BJP wants to expand in states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, coastal Andhra Pradesh, and this might be used as a sort of a bastion-based politics by the regional parties.
Honestly, the north-south divide is being created by southern political parties. We've heard Revant Reddy in the past compare DNAs of people in the north and people in the south. So this kind of a divide is not needed. And in this particular situation, with the 50% formula, the southern states are not just being given fair treatment. They're getting advantageous treatment because their population is going to be lower. The number of MPs going up to parliament is going to be higher. They're at an advantage, not at a disadvantage at all. And I am certain the people of the country will understand this, even if the politicians want to play their petty politics.
Before I let go of you, in case BJP or NDA loses it in parliament, what do you think would be the strategy of your party to push it on the streets? Because कहते हैं जब संसद में बात नहीं होती तो सड़क में उठानी पड़ती है.
देखिए, सड़क ये बात 30 साल से उठा रहा है और सड़क पे ये बात उठ रही है, इसीलिए ये संसद तक पहुंची है. एंड इवन दो आवर ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर इज अ मैन, हिज पॉलिसीज हैव बीन फेमिनिस्ट एट हार्ट. एवरी सिंगल पॉलिसी ही हैज गॉट फॉर दिस कंट्री हैज बीन गॉट अराउंड कीपिंग women in mind, and that has been a game changer, because today we have more women voters than men voters in our country. We see the sex ratio change. We see more and more girls in STEM. So everything is changing because these policies at heart are feminist.
Tell me one thing, is it, we have been talking politics, but you're a professional, you're a lawyer. Is it only about numbers, or is it about women in decision-making roles?
It's about women in decision-making roles, but in such a number that when it comes to voting, their voice cannot be drowned out.
It's like how many women in this country are in boards?
Barely 5.
How many countries?
Yeah.
Australia just appointed a woman chief of staff of the army.
Yes.
I mean, those sort of paradigmatic changes are taking place across the world.
True.
It seems that it's bypassing India. It's bypassing India. Something should have happened in the corporate sector.
Yeah.
How many women have gone on to become, the head of judiciary?
Yeah, that's true. Supreme Court has never had a woman judge. It is very sad. There are only 7% women in higher judiciary in our country. Whatever profession you look at.
How many women cabinet secretaries we have seen? How many women defense secretaries we have seen? How many women foreign secretaries? I think Chokila here, I remember, then Nirupama ji went on to become. How many home secretaries we have seen, women home secretaries?
So that's why, Karthike, most respectfully,
and
I
how
always
many
say
women
this.
principal secretaries to the Prime Minister?
Well said, and I agree. And you look at any profession, look at nursing. 80% women are in nursing, but who's going to be the chief of staff? It will be a man in all probability. That's just the way it works. But Parliament is a reflection of society. And this society has always been male dominated, whichever profession you look at. What we have changed in the last 12 years is that we have let women come up in every manner possible. Whether it is equal pay for equal work, longer maternity leave up to 26 weeks, whether it is making sure there are more girls in STEM education, whether it is opening the doors of Sainik schools for girls. Every single thing at every single level is being changed for our girls. And this is going to be the society that's going to be reflected in our parliament in 2029, and that is what I'm asking for. That's all that I'm asking for. We've worked very hard to change society on ground. 12 years has been a long time, and these changes are visible. Look at Mudra loans. Look at the number of NPAs that don't happen now because it's women taking these loans. All of this has changed, and our parliament now needs to be a reflection of this new society.
Absolutely.
Where women are equals.
I'm going to say I want this Women Reservation Bill to be a reality.
Me too.
At a personal level,
Fingers
and
crossed.
I hope political parties come on it, come together on this issue and resolve associated issues with it. Let's again dip into Parliament. It's a rolling coverage. Somewhere around 2 p.m. Rahul Gandhi, leader of opposition, is also going to speak. We'll be live on this. To our viewers, post 4 p.m. the division will start, because it's a constitutional amendment bill. So there will be no voice vote. There will be divisions, and we'll be on this story. Let's go across to Lok Sabha again.
Thank you.
When 334A was brought, then kindly see, this has been made reservation of seats for women, reservation of seats for women in the House of the People, the Legislative Assembly, etc. That shall come into effect after an exercise of delimitation is undertaken for the purpose after the relevant figures. Why you have done it that time? Why you have said after the delimitation will come? Why you didn't make this reservation policy will be implemented immediately? We have said so. You have not done it. You have made the point after the delimitation. Unfortunate part is 334A, this amendment was brought in 2023 and it has been implemented yesterday in the midnight. And this whole system, I don't know, Parliament Minister, you have tried to this, you are making the entire system of the Parliament into a mockery. The Act, which has not been given effect to, how there can be an amendment? I don't understand this point. Amendment कब होता है? जिसको लाइफ आता है, उसका बाद तो amendment होता है. अब लाइफ ही नहीं दिया, amendment लेके चला आया. Somebody has advised Mr. Law Minister must be yesterday. Then what are you doing? You have not given effect to. तब रात में नोटिफिकेशन निकल गया. जो रात में नोटिफिकेशन निकल गया, इफेक्ट दे दो भाई. नहीं तो totally faulty procedure you are taking. Now 334, this is the, you could have done it. This is not done. Now next point is, the evil intentions of the present bills have been brought in the House by calling today's House to start the delimitation in a hottest manner. What is the problem? हमारा इलेक्शन चल रहा है, हम लोग को छोड़ के उधर छोड़ के आना पड़ता है. जब गुजरात में इलेक्शन होगा तब तो एक महीना कोई हाउस ही नहीं बैठेगा. जब राजस्थान में इलेक्शन होगा तब एक महीना तो हाउस ही नहीं बैठेगा. हाँ? जब उत्तर प्रदेश में इलेक्शन होगा तो हाउस में नहीं बैठेगा. बंगाल में है, कर दो भाई, सबको ले आओ. तमिलनाडु को ले आओ, वो तो अपोजिशन में है, उनको लोग को ले आओ. This is the hottest manner, and this is totally unfair. This is an attack on the democracy. This is not a level playing field. Unfortunate. Now, madam, I have seen a picture. Picture was widely circulated. Must be everyone has seen it. The Honorable Chief Justice of India, along with his wife, pushing into a button in an app for registration of their names in the census. Census process has been begun. When census process has been begun, until the census process is not finished, how there can be a delimitation? Is it not totally inconsistent? You have introduced it. Unconstitutional. I am coming. This is you have begun. You have begun it. Now in the midst of it, you are saying no. We'll go by the 2011 census.